Having a corporate or charity golf event? Backswing Golf Events can supply your tournament with personable, professional golfers to entertain and fundraise on the golf course. They can accommodate any size group, whether it be 3 players to 500. They are your team. From range lessons, Beat the Pro, and Pro-Am style roaming, they're making lasting memories one swing at a time. So make sure to check out backswinggolfevents.com or call us direct at 661-316-3093 and book your pros now.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to On Par with Amanda. Thanks for tuning in to Big's Golf Talk. Week after week, we love having you here. So I have a couple things this week that I want to talk about. And one is kind of more an uplifting, awesome story, and the other one, not so much. So we're going to start off with playing on any mini tour, trying to get your card, trying to make it to the big leagues, no matter what sport you're playing in. When you're kind of in that minor league mini tour level, it is such an emotional grind. And week after week, you're trying to get in. And especially when I was playing a lot of Monday qualifiers to try to qualify into the big tournaments, they are very tough, very competitive. But if you can get in, you don't have to go through 3 different stages of qualifying. You just go right to the main event. And so for me, it was worth it to try to fight my way through those events. So this week, a very, very emotional video went viral after a mini tour player, Michael Visacki or Visacki, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. He, in Florida, he played in a qualifier and he went into a sudden death playoff, and he sunk a 20-foot birdie putt on Monday in the playoff to gain the last spot in the field. So this was for the Valspar that's coming up at Innis Brooks Copperhead, and he will tee it up on Thursday morning. Now, the cool thing about this is he was so, I think at that point, you've grinded it out. It says he's traveled over 170,000 miles in his Honda Accord over the past several years chasing his golf dream. And week after week, he's probably been super close and then not so close, and you have your good weeks, and it's just an emotional roller coaster. And when you finally make it, this is what we see from his reaction. If you have not seen this video, you need to check it out. It is just heartbreaking and heartwarming at the same time, because you know how much he has poured into. So he makes a phone call to his father to let him know that he made it into the main PGA event, and he just starts crying. And it is the most I guess heartfelt phone call, and you know that there's a lot of emotion behind him making it. And there was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of hours, I'm sure, terrible golf rounds, a lot of great golf rounds, and he finally got his break to play in the PGA Tour event. He simply makes a call, and he said, "I made it." And he fights back his tears to tell his father that he has, done something he has worked his whole golf career trying to do. And so, Monday qualifying, for anyone that has seen the guys, so usually the guys go through pre-qual, then they go to qualifying, and then they go into the main event. So to make it this far, I've caddied at some of these Monday qualifiers, and guys are shooting insane scores. They're shooting 62, 63, 64. And so it's definitely, and then to be put into a sudden death situation, you played well, and now all of it's riding on this one sudden death hole. It's pretty tough. So I am super proud of him and super excited to watch him in the Valspar and see how he does. He said the only other foray into the PGA Tour golf world was on the developmental Korn Ferry Tour, which everyone knows is kind of the step below the PGA. It's the road to the PGA Tour, where he Monday qualified in 2018 for the KC Golf Classic. He tied for 27th. He made $4,500, which was among his best of the year. So you can imagine he's fought so hard. And like I said, if you get an opportunity to watch this video, it is just, have your tissues. And just, I think this is a good way to show other people that maybe aren't familiar with kind of the professional side of golf. This is what these players are going through. And it is just, he just lets out all of his emotion, and he's fighting back tears, and he's really pushing. So I wish him all the best of luck. I hope he goes out there and kicks some butt personally. And, you know, the other thing I have to say with this, and I'll read a quote from him as well. You fight so hard. And like I said, with the guys, I've caddied for a few friends in Monday qualifiers, and they go out and they shoot 67 and you're nowhere near close. And you're like, just had a great round, shot 67. So that's why I think qualifying is so special, because these guys are just shooting incredible scores. So he says, you barely break even, and then it's not like every week is a free entry fee and we're just playing for a prize. If you miss 2 or 3 cuts, you're down $1,500 in entry fees, let alone the practicing, paying rent, phone bill, electricity, gas. Hopefully car's not going to break down. Even with all my success, it's still very, very hard to make a living. So this is what I want you to understand, everyone. We've talked about it. And I know everyone talks about, well, why are they getting paid so much? You know, why are they? But that is the very elite few at the top. So even if you do make it and you get your PGA Tour card, if you're not in the top 10 pretty regularly, or you don't have a top 10 win under your belt, you're really not. You're fighting to make money. So the guys, you can imagine, that aren't on the PGA full time and they're playing on the mini tours, like he said, you miss 3 cuts in a row, you're down $1,500 alone in your entry fees, if not more. And I remember, when I was playing full time, it wasn't a matter of talent for any of the girls. It was who could withstand the financial loss long enough until they caught their break. So this for him is a break. I'm super proud of him. This is going to be awesome to watch, and I wish him nothing but the best. So go check out that video if you have an opportunity. It's pretty cool. Again, his name is Michael, and it's Visacki. So Visacki, I'm not really sure, but he is from Florida, and we are rooting for you, bud. The next not so great news story. Golf club counterfeiters were found guilty after a Chinese bust. So 120,000 pieces of golf equipment were confiscated. They were labeled under the Callaway, Titleist, Srixon, using all of the brand tour names, but they were in fact not. They were counterfeit. Now, this is what I want to tell you guys. If you are buying golf equipment online, know who you're buying it from. I think branded retailers, if you can buy it here in the US from a well-known retailer, yes, maybe you're spending a little bit more money on the front end, but I will tell you, you get what you pay for. So if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. So 15 people in China were convicted this week for their roles in a huge counterfeit golf club ring. I didn't know that was a thing, but it is. An industry watchdog association named U.S. Golf Manufacturers Anti-Counterfeiting Working Group who was on the case. So following what the U.S. business group called the largest counterfeit golf gear ever conducted in 2020, all 15 people on trial were convicted. The total case value of the faked equipment was more than $1.8 million and involved 120 pieces of equipment. So for those of you that were involved in purchasing this counterfeit stuff, you will probably not be getting your equipment as it was confiscated. Also, they're branding this stuff as Titleist, TaylorMade, PXG, These are serious things. So for me, when I get my clubs, I want to believe and trust and know that they are actually what they are and they came from the manufacturer and they weren't counterfeit. So it says 13 people were convicted for counterfeiting registered trademarks and 2 people were convicted for selling them. Combined, the defendants were sentenced to 42 years with fines totaling over $500,000, and another person was tried in the case, and the outcome of that trial is pending. So, I mean, I'm glad that a bust happens. I always wonder, and this is not to be not politically correct, I always wonder, in other countries, we have such strict mandates and rules here in the US. I always often wonder, a lot of our merchandise and product is being shipped from other countries, and you don't know their guidelines or their rules, or if anybody even cares if they're counterfeiting. So I like to see this. I like to see that someone stepped in, the US, of course, and said, hey, wait a minute, this is not okay. I will tell you that you really do need to pay attention to where you buy your stuff. I will give you just an example of how not everything that you think is coming from, a lot of people are just super naive and think everything's made here in the US, which is not the case. I know for a fact that one of the golf manufacturers that makes golf bags in a different country, they were having political riots and burnt down the manufacturer, and they lost a crazy amount of golf tour bags. So now the US is on back order for that company. So things like that do happen. But when you are surfing the web and you're getting on Amazon, and how many times have you ordered something off of Instagram or an ad? Most of that stuff is coming from China, folks. And you get it and you're like, oh, I ordered this really cute swimsuit from Instagram, and you hold it up when you get it and it looks nothing like what you ordered. That's because it's coming from China. It is not US made. Pay attention. Golf clubs are important and you're spending a lot of money and you don't want to lose out. They said, we will continue to work closely with law enforcement across the globe to take down these counterfeiters, eliminating the sale of any fake products and protect all the golfers everywhere. So the case involved raids at 10 different locations, including the manufacturer of the golf heads, shafts, and grip suppliers. So they had to go around and piece all this counterfeit making up to find all of the equipment, which I think the fact that we have a golf manufacturer's anti-counterfeiting group is pretty incredible. I was not aware of that, but now I know, and good. I'm happy because I see a lot of these websites floating around that just don't seem that legit. If you have any questions, please feel free to write me at arobertsongolf on Instagram. I love seeing your messages week after week, and I do my best to get back to all of you as they are received. Right into Big's Golf Talk. We love hearing your stories as well. And until next time, keep swinging for par.